Hey everyone, Jacob here with Movie Relics, and with the new Batman coming out on March 4th, 2022, I wanted to take a look at some of the previous Batman props that have surfaced after filming over the last few years. And by no means are we experts on these particular props, and we are not validating or advocating that these props are legitimate, but we're just using them as a reference for market sale valuation indicators. But enough of that, let's jump into the Batman story, and as we all know, it's not really a happy one. First up, we have Michael Keaton's Batsuit from Batman, which came out back in 1989. This Batman film was directed by none other than Tim Burton and starred Jack Nicholson as the Joker. This Batman suit was designed and created by Bob Ringwood and Vin Burnham. This suit went through 4 different iterations before they decided on the final suit that you see here and the one that you see in the movie. What's incredible is that they only had 24 weeks of prep to design and build the Batman suit, preferably one that didn't show his tights on the outside. They first started out by doing a life-size casting of Michael Keaton and building and sculpting the Batman suit from there. Another interesting aspect of the suit is that the cape was mostly made of latex, and it was so heavy that it needed to be attached directly to the suit itself. They actually got the idea on making the cape from eating at a round table one day. They realized that if they just sprayed a circular table with latex, that they could get the design that they were after for the cape that they needed. Even though this Batman suit was literally molded for Michael Keaton, it had the 4 previous prototypes, as it was hard for Michael Keaton to move convincingly in. And being from 1989, it does show its age in certain areas, like the foam rubber on the cowl and the fabric on the inside of the cape also does show some fraying with a small tear, but considering its age and use in the production, I think it still looks great. This entire Batsuit sold for over 65,000 pounds, which is roughly $89,500 currently. For the next Batman, I wanted to take a look at the suit and also something a little bigger.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
That's right, it's the Batpod.
Goodbye.
As I'm sure many of you remember, the Christian Bale Batmobile transformed into a badass, heavily equipped Batpod after being severely damaged from one of the Joker's RPGs. This Batpod was used in The Dark Knight Rises, which released in theaters in 2012, and yes, it does work.
Does it come in black?
And it also comes in black. It is fitted with 31-inch Hoosier racing tires and a Honda 750 motorcycle engine. And I know what you're thinking, in the movie it didn't have the sound of a motorcycle. Well, you would be right. With some clever sound editing, they just replaced that sound with the sound of the first generation Tesla Roadster to give it that perfect futuristic high-tech sound. This incredible feat of automotive engineering with gyroscope-like double jointed axles and actual cannons with explosive power at the front went for over $357,000 before any fees. Sticking with the subject of Christian Bale's Batman, his Batman suit from The Dark Knight Rises sold for almost $250,000. This iteration of Batman's suit had a military-inspired redesign and background.
Nomex survival suit for advanced infantry. Kevlar bi-weave, reinforced joints.
Tear resistant.
This sucker will stop a knife.
This costume was designed by Lindy Hemming and created by Graham Churchard and his team. And quite frankly, they did an amazing job. Another interesting facet is that Christian Bale actually did his first screen test in Val Kilmer's Batsuit that he used in the movie.
Cobb. It was Cobb. Look, we need to go. We need to tell
Rest. Gordon knows.
Christopher Nolan mentioned that this really showed him that Christian Bale could project this extraordinary iconography.
Well, the testing process on this kind of performance, this kind of character, yeah, it's not about acting ability or chemistry or any of those things. It's about being able to project this extraordinary iconography, really, from the inside. It's visual iconography.
Christopher Nolan knew that the design of the Batsuit was very important, as the last suit was George Clooney's nipple suit, which, as you can imagine, was not received very well by fans.
What the hell is even that?
So they managed to take all of the best elements of the previous Batman suits and create one that tied them all together, but still had functionality at the top of its list. Christian Bale said that the suit helped him to develop the now iconic voice and character of his Batman.
He had decided that Batman needed to have a different voice to Bruce Wayne, that he needed to put on a voice.
The suit would give him headaches and would put him into a foul mood after just a half an hour, but he mentioned using that pain as fuel for his character's anger. An actual quote from Christian Bale was, "Batman's meant to be fierce, and you become a beast in that suit, as Batman should be. Not a man in a suit, but a different creature."
And so you must become a monster, so you feel like an animal when you're inside of that suit.
Christian Bale's Batman is my personal favorite, and I thought that Christopher Nolan really brought Batman to the 21st century with a realistic, some billionaire could actually become Batman if they really wanted to. My question though, is why hasn't one done this already? But what would Batman be without all of his gadgets though?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Obviously, he has his Batsuit and Batmobile, but he has to have all of his cool gadgets that help him fight crime in Gotham City, right? Yeah. Plus, I wanted to see what other Batman props might be a little more attainable in comparison to those other amazing pieces that you still saw in the movies. From Batman Begins, which came out in 2005, we have a pair of bat bombs which are made from a paneled black resin, which you can clearly see in the scene where Christian Bale is suiting up as Batman to save Gotham. And they only sold for $8,500, which is a little more attainable. Finally, we have the famous Batarang. This Batarang was Michael Keaton's remote-controlled Batarang from the 1992 Batman Returns movie. You can see him quickly pull it out and throw it while being surrounded by 3 clown henchmen and 1 woman clown. He throws it and quickly knocks out the 3 henchmen, but it is caught by a small dog right before it has a chance to get the last woman clown and is then carried off. This remote-controlled Batarang was made of resin and actually made to look collapsible. However, this Batarang is static, so even the buttons that you see aren't able to be pressed. And one of the wingtips is broken due to production use, but even with that minor damage, it still went for just over $3,000. Being the Batman fan that I am, and just looking at all of the spectacular pieces that have been sold, whether it be something small and more affordable like a Batarang, or even a full-on Batpod that you can drive around, it really makes me appreciate this hobby and goes to show you that everyone can get something truly special and unique. And with that being said, I bid you all a farewell. Make sure to click that like and subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. From Batman, which came out back in 1989. To give it that perfect futuristic tech sound.